Hello, welcome again to my YouTube channel, and here we share a lot of stories on mental health because we are trying to advocate for mental health awareness. So, on Saturdays, we will be dealing with personal stories. It will be a personal story Saturdays. I will be sharing stories that people have told me of their mental health journey, my own story, like today, and basically stories that I've heard, and so on and so forth. So I hope from these personal stories you'll be able to relate and maybe understand the things we are going through, or the things we went through, and how we dealt with them, or how we're supposed to deal with them. Yes, one of the techniques of spreading mental health information is through discussions and things like this. I hope you'll be here to the end. Thank you. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. I will link wherever you will see our photo. Yes, wherever you'll see our photo, I will just link it at the end of the video. Just click it and subscribe. And if you haven't watched our first video, I will also link it at the end of the video. Just please watch it. Yeah, thank you. So today I'm gonna give a personal mental health story, basically of my journey. These are some of the things that led me to become to be interested in doing this vlogs. So I have suffered from depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. So my depression, I've had two phases of depression. The first phase was caused by childhood trauma. We had a really harsh father, and from having a harsh father as kids, we don't have a lot of understanding of each other, maybe the ways you use to correct us and so on and so forth. And so it becomes difficult for us not to land into depression. So as a kid, I actually suffered from a lot of depression. Maybe it's something my parents or siblings don't know about, because when I grew older is when I came to understand, oh, this is what was happening to me. Yes. But now we're good with my pops. Yeah, we're good. Yeah. It's not like I'm blaming him for my life problems. I'm okay. He's okay. Yeah, I came to understand some of the things he did, and yes, now I'm fine. So yes, I suffered from a lot of childhood trauma. He was so harsh and felt like distant. And if he can tell you, a lot of times I felt like leaving home. A lot of times, yes. So I can't really say much about that time, but the truth is, yes, adolescent depression is real, and it is happening to a lot of us. Many parents are not keen of how their children feel, and so many children really suffer from mood disorders. So parents out there, please be concerned about your children, because for those who suffer from severe depression, they may end up committing suicide. Okay, yeah, so childhood trauma. Yeah, my dad was harsh. We grew up, five of us, but I think most of us, not most of us, all of us made it through, and we came to understand how things are later on. So yes, another instance of depression. Yes, I suffered from depression that was caused by what I know many people have gone through, a heartbreak. Not all heartbreaks lead to depression, whether it's your first or your last. Yes, and next week we will be dealing with depression as a mental condition, and so then I will discuss maybe the symptoms and treatment, and I will be able to show you the difference between grief and depression, and that is something very important because you have to understand the difference between the two. So yes, I suffered from depression for around 2.5 months. Yes, I was left. Yeah, it was a time when I had a lot of issues. The person I was dating at that time, and I had decided to let go of things, but then we just went into a back and forth like system. Yeah, we get back, leave each other, get back, leave each other. Then at some point I was like, there's no need of fighting anymore, so let's just make love and no, not make love. Let's just stay together. And so at that time, though, I was told that I can't love you anymore. So it ended. Yeah, but I chose to cry. Yes, as a man. Yes, I cried. So, yeah, it was a tough time for me. We had dated for around 4.5 years. And for 4.5 years, as an adult, 4.5 years is a long time, and you share a lot of things, friends, and memories. So yes, it was tough on me. I don't know about her actually. Yeah, but I hope she's fine. So it was tough on me. I actually thought I'd die. If you ask one of my friends, he was a very close person who I used to talk to. I had a best. Okay, I couldn't talk to my best friend then because he just used to laugh at me, and that wasn't helping. So I talked to another friend of mine. We used to hang out, and he kept telling me, "Don't worry, it'll be fine. It'll be fine." Yeah, and I went, but I didn't stay at my place for about 2 months because I couldn't stay at one place. I really needed people around me because they made me get, okay, I used to get distracted a lot when I'm with people because alone I'll keep thinking and thinking and thinking, and I'll get more depressed at night there listening to Adele, and Lewis Capaldi, and yes, maybe it's a common story. So yeah, it cost me a lot of grief, depression for 2.5 months. Actually, I think it's 3 months. Yes, 3 months. It was tough. So I remember at one point I tried salvaging things, but things went south. So yeah, I suffered from depression from then. And what really helped me was this friend of mine whom I used to talk to, because at some point I felt like, okay, I felt it, I felt physical pain, and I didn't exactly know what was going on. So he used to help me, encourage me. He told me a lot of positive things, and with the time, he kept telling me that time heals, time heals. Yes, but I wish I could have known that there's actually medication for treating depression. So maybe I could have been better. But anyway, yeah. So after 2.5 months, we met again with her, and then I realized that there's no point of being sad over something that I am also not willing to go back to at that point. So I just started taking steps to becoming better, reminding me that uh, these things happen. It's time. With time, things get better and better, and yes, I'll meet other people, and so on and so forth. And so I started letting myself out there, meeting other people. Yes, and yeah, here I am. It's a long time ago. I think 2 years now. Yeah, and I'm fine with my wife and kid. Yes, and I'm happy. Yeah, that basically sums up my story of depression. Yeah, if you have your personal stories on depression, please just inbox me, and then we'll talk more about that. So, anxiety and PTSD, I don't have a really long story about those. I've suffered, I think I still suffer from anxiety at times, but it is episodic. I've suffered from anxiety. One of the most common forms of anxiety that I've suffered from is phobia. Yes, phobia is a type of anxiety. It is not. I had a severe phobia for darkness and heights, but as I've grown older, it has gone down. So yeah, I suffered from so till now. I think I'm still afraid of the dark. Yes, as old as I am, I'm afraid of the dark. But another form of anxiety, I've suffered from generalized anxiety disorder, where I think a lot about so many things, and it makes me worry a lot. It used to make me worry a lot, until I could develop some nausea, vomiting, some pains in the chest, back pains. And so I didn't know what was exactly going on. And so at some point, I used to maybe look at the symptoms, am I sick or something? Then I realized every time I keep thinking about and worrying about many things, I become this sick. But since there's not a lot of information about mental health, it becomes difficult for you to understand that you're suffering from anxiety. Until recently is when I understood, oh, this is what happened. And so my remedy then, I became better with time. My remedy then was what I came to learn is called relaxation therapy. Listening to good music, breathing in and out. Yes, that helped me with my anxiety, and yeah, I'm free from the generalized anxiety disorder. Now I think I don't worry much about many things. Yeah, and I am better. PTSD, I've suffered from PTSD. Uh, my parents don't know this, but it's a personal thing. I was kinda raped by a guy when I was young, and it really affected me as a kid. And in our home, it wasn't easy to just go and tell your dad, hey, this and this happened. And so I never did. And it has affected me till I was older. So anytime I am like with someone and something weird happens, I feel like it's gonna happen over and over again. So yes, I suffered from PTSD a lot. And also recently, I fell. I was riding a motorcycle and I fell, and from then on, I have had a fear of ever riding a motorcycle. So yeah, I have some marks on my hand, and so from then I have not been. I'm not okay with riding motorcycles even till now. It was a very recent incident. It happened last year. Yeah, so I'm not. I'm still, I think, maybe dealing with the PTSD part of me riding a motorcycle, but I hope it gets better. Yeah, I am trying to undergo some interventions that help me get better, but I just think I'll just not ride motorcycles again. Yes. So I think that sums up every condition that I mentioned. And so if you're suffering from the same, just stay tuned and we will discuss them in detail. From next week, we'll be dealing with depression. So yeah, we'll handle the symptoms and stuff. And so I just wanted to finish this video by mentioning some of the terms that we're going to be using in this channel. And so first, if you ever hear me mention DSM-5, DSM-5 is basically the catalog or the manual that indicates, okay, that helps you understand the symptoms and the categories of mental health conditions. DSM-5 is the latest edition of that manual. If I ever mention pharmacological interventions, I just mean medicine. Yeah, I'll try as much as I can to just say medicine, but I know some of the time I'll be saying pharmacological interventions and non-pharmacological interventions. These are interventions that do not involve medicine. Another term that I think I'm gonna be used is maybe prevalence. Prevalence means basically the number of people or number of cases of the condition per time or within a certain time or population. Yeah, I think that's basically the terms we're gonna be using. Yes. If I say anything like psychosocial intervention, this is basically therapy. Yeah. So we'll learn more together. I hope my stories were not that scary, and I hope that you will also share yours so that we can start discussions that will help us become better. Thank you, have a great day, and always remember that your mental health matters.